What up, though, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Chopping It Up with Uncle Chon. I'm Uncle Chon. These are my true stories. First, I'd like to thank a couple of subscribers who have liked and commented. I'd like to thank Shondas, and I'd like to thank Jennifer. Thank you for your support, and I hope to win a few more people over with my latest story. This one is funny to me. It's a funny story to me. This story is set early 1990s, probably 1990, set in Jasper, Alabama. This one is about a friend of mine named Vic. Not so. One day, me and my homeboy A, we riding around in my car, and we're headed towards from what's called the Frisco, which is basically black community, to the other side of Jasper, to the coke oven. And as we're riding, we see our homeboy Vic, and he's not walking, he's marching. He's marching, and he's a light skinned fellow. And when he get mad, he turns red, like for real red. So he's marching, he's red, and we pull up on him like, "Yo, what up, man? What's going on?" So he proceeds to tell us that this guy named Wade, one of our local users of illicit substances, had disrespected his mother, Kitty, God rest her soul. Now, Kitty was one of those women who she didn't hold him up. So there's no telling how it went, but needless to say, Kitty told Vic, her son, that Wade had said some very disrespectful things to her. And needless to say, when somebody tells you that somebody has said something disrespectful about your mother, uh, that's going to usually cause for some kind of response of the violent nature. So he's marching to where he knows Wade is, which is at the liquor store that's in the parking lot of Son Junior's, and I think it was called the Ice House, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong about that, but anyway, it's a liquor store that's set aside from the the small grocery store called Son Junior. It's a parking lot. So we tell him to get in the car. He get in the car, and we drive him to the Ice House where Wade is more than likely hanging out at. So when we pull up, we see Wade, and we see two other guys who are also users of illicit substances of the crackish nature. So uh, when we pull up, before I could even stop the car good, Vic's out the car. And when Wade sees him, you know, because people, when they do stuff, they know what they be done. So when Wade sees him, he's very shocked, but not surprised. He's shocked at how fast Vic was running up on him, but he was not surprised because he knew, because he started dragging as soon as Vic got out the car. Hey man, I ain't say nothing to your mama, you know. And Vic runs up, and Wade had something in his hand, a bag, and he hands it to one of his homeboys or whatever. And me and they get out the car to make sure that, you know, these other two fellas don't decide to help Wade uh, against Vic or whatever, and also to watch. So Wade starts saying what he didn't do. And listen, when your mother tells you something, can't nobody else tell you that she didn't that didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? So him saying that only further infuriated Vic. Now he got steam coming out his eyes. So uh, the first thing I remember was a 1-2 combination to Wade's face. Bip bop! And he hits Wade, and Wade, oh man, I can't let you do that to me. Man, let me tell you. Vic proceeds to put a pugilistic pounding on this man that few have ever seen in the streets. This was worthy in the annals of boxing and pugilistic Hall of Fame. Because when I tell you that Vic hit this man with every punch that he threw, he did not miss one single punch. And Wade did not hit Vic with one single punch. It went like, it was like Vic was so mad and so focused on beating this man's ass that he must have went into a zone. Like when a basketball player just can't miss, that's what this was. Vic was hitting this motherfucker, man. He was bop, bip, bop, bip, bop. I mean, just and Vic, and then Wade, and let me tell you, this was not a small man. Wade looked like a boxer. I mean, I don't know what he did because a lot of the crackheads, they used to work. So Wade might have been chopping wood or whatever, but he had muscles. He was thick. And he wasn't nobody by looking at him that you would just run up on trying to, talk slick to or nothing. I mean, this dude he looked very formidable, but he threw a punch at Vic. After Vic hit him about 10 times, he finally got a punch off, and this is how the punch went. And Vic moved out the way and threw a flurry. He hit this man with, like I say, listen, I don't know how long the fight lasted, but I do know Wade threw about 6 punches, all of them at the same speed, and he just keeps saying, I can't let you do this to me. I can't let you do this to me. I can't let you do this to me. He just kept repeating that phrase as he was getting punished, and every lick there was a mark too. Like this nigga lips was busted, his nose was busted, he had 2 lumps over his eyes, his his forehead had lumps in it. I mean, it was like it was terrible. It was okay. Let me explain to my boxing fans out here, or people who don't know boxing. If you want to see the fight, I'm gonna tell you the best fight you can watch. There are Larry Holmes against a fighter named Randall Tex Cobb. It went 15 rounds. Tex Cobb might have hit Larry Holmes 3 times the entire fight, and he just took a 15-round beating. He got hit with everything but the kitchen sink, and at the end of the fight, he looked woe out. He was beat up, but he never went down. And this is what happened in this fight. Wade, to his credit, as many punches as he ate, which was probably at least 100 punches to the face. At least 100 punches. And he never went down. I'll give him that credit. And he just, I can't let you do this to me. You can't do this to me. No. That right there, as it was getting done. So how the fight ended was, I guess Vic had got so tired of punching him, some kind of way they locked up. And he kind of pushed Vic up against the car. And so we was like, okay, break it up. Oh, I can't let you do this to me. So we trying to pull them apart. And, Wade won't let go because he finally done got a piece of Vic, But we like, okay, the fight's, dude, you leaking, your head swole. You might have a concussion. Let him go. And we getting him apart and he won't let him go. So AP loosens him up by punches Wade in the face. Bah! And he socks him in the jaw, and Wade lets him go. And basically, we walk over to the store to get some beer to celebrate. And Wade and his two compadres, they leave. Okay, so we go in the store and we get us some beer, and we come out the store and we get in the car, and we ride down to where his mother stayed and talk to her about it. And you know, and I think Vic might have had to soak his hands or something because his fists were swole. And we get back in the car and we ride up to the Coke Oven Park, which is where Wade and his compadres have made it to. So when we pull up, we hear Wade say, "There they go right there." So he's talking to Bobby Jr. and Charles, I won't say his last name. Now these guys were also consumers of illicit products of a crackers nature, but Bobby Jr. was a known martial artist. Now I don't know where he learned martial arts from. I don't know if he went to a school. I don't know if he read a book, but I do know Bobby Jr. knew that shit. Now, the only good thing was Bobby Jr. really liked me. He really liked me. He used to cut my hair. We was cool. And he was A's cousin. Okay? So Wade gets up to the park and he's telling Charles and Bobby Jr. that he got jumped on. Okay? Ain't no one man did this to me. Ain't no, you know, and he's repeating this, and he's saying that the three of us jumped on him, which is 150% not true. I never laid a hand on him other than pulling him apart when they was locked up on my car. And Adrian only threw one punch, and that was to dislodge him from the grip that he had on Vic. So he was lying, okay? Had we jumped on him, he would have fell down and he wouldn't have been walking, and he'd have had to go to the hospital probably, okay? Because he didn't hit Vic with a single punch. So, you know, so he's telling Bobby Jr. and Charles that we jumped on him. So Bobby Jr. goes around to Vic, and it's kind of got, you know, Vic is kind of like sitting in the back seat with the door open, and Bobby Jr.'s kind of got him pinned in there like, "Man, y'all jumped on him?" And Vic's like, "No, man, we ain't jump on him." And Charles comes over to my side, and he won't let me get out, and he done pulled out a knife, all right? So now I'm pissed because I didn't do nothing, and, you know, A is telling Bobby Jr., "Look, cuz, didn't nobody touch him. Vic beat him up by himself." He's like, he beat that, he got that man looking like that by himself. Because, I mean, he looked like he could have possibly got jumped on. But we did not jump on him. He was beaten up like Larry Holmes beat Tex Randall Cobb. He didn't land a punch, and Vic hit him with every single punch that he threw. And after a few minutes of A explaining to Bobby Jr. that, you know, hey, we didn't jump on him. This was all one man's work. Bobby Jr. backs off, and he tells Charles to back off me. But I'm telling you, I'm so mad right now because this, and me and Charles have never had a problem. Matter of fact, we were always cool, you know? And he pulls a knife out on me, you know, and I understand that he thought I jumped on his buddy or whatever. But man, let me tell you, I ain't even gonna go into that. Anyway, that's the story. And listen, that fight listen, Vic, if you watch this video, you know, you put something on that boy. That man did not lay a hand on this guy. He about 100 and something punches and not a lick returned. And then he went and lied and said that we jumped on him because he looked so bad. And this dude had, he was thick muscles, you know, but it added up to nothing. Yep. And that's the story. Hope you enjoyed listening to it. If you did, give me a like, comment, share, subscribe to my channel, please. Thank you.